Hi everybody, it's Melissa from Welcome to the Woods. Today we are going to be working on a very special collaboration. Rust-Oleum has sponsored this video to show off their new Imagine spray paints in frosted glass and sea glass. I'm so happy to be working with Rust-Oleum because if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I recommend them on like every spray paint project that I've done. They are my favorite brand. So I can't wait to try these out with you guys along. We're going to be doing some crafts for Christmas. The first one are doctoring up these plain plastic ornaments. I got these on clearance after Christmas clearance last year, so there was like $1 for 5 of them. So we're going to take these out, take them apart, and I'm going to stick stickers on them in different holiday phrases or sentimental writings, and then we're going to spray paint the whole bulb so that where the sticker is left clear and the rest is frosted. Alrighty, now we have all the bulbs stickered. We're going to put them on these. I just took a scrap piece of wood that's garbage. I threw some screws in there to keep these so that when I flip them upside down and spray paint them, I can easily pick this up and move them all at once if need be. The next thing we're going to work on are these hurricane vases. I have 3 of these, and I've seen an idea where you wrap the hurricane vases in rubber bands. I love this because wherever the rubber band is, shines through as normal glass. And when you're frosting the rest of it, it's this really pretty, subtle difference. Looks gorgeous as a luminary. So a couple things when doing this craft, you want to make sure that where your rubber band crosses is in a different spot than where the other one crosses. This just gives some variation in the lines, makes it look a little better. The other thing is that you can't have the rubber bands all twisted. You want to make sure that you can get them laying as flat as possible. So after you kind of get them in the spot you want, you need to maneuver them so that they're not twisted up. That makes your lines look way better. Alright, now this one is ready for spray paint. Now the very last craft we're going to do with the frosted glass is this luminary where I am going to frost the whole thing and then cut out a silhouette of a deer. It's going to be so pretty because it'll just kind of be shadowy and beautiful. So this, you can use any mason jar. I picked a pickle jar because it doesn't have any writing or raised parts on the jar itself, on the glass. I like that it's smooth. I think it's going to come off a lot better as a decoration this way. With that, we are ready to paint. Let's go. Now I live in Minnesota, so using this spray paint when the temperatures are like 30 degrees outside can be done. You just have to make sure that you keep your spray paint as well as the item you're going to spray paint indoors as much as possible. You can see I set up an elevated area outside where there's good ventilation to actually do the spraying, and I'm just going back and forth in between the house and back out again so that my piece stays warm, my paint still adheres, and the most of the fumes end up outside. It still is a bit stinky in your house, so I tend to light a candle or even open a window when I'm doing this. Recently I discovered these spray paint handles. I've been recommended these by viewers many times, but I finally bought some and I wish I had done it years ago. They make spray painting so much more enjoyable and you have so much more control over the can. All products and materials that I'm using in this video will be linked in the description, so be sure to check that out. Make sure when you're spray painting that you shake your can vigorously for at least a minute. This is especially important on these specialty finishes because a lot of times the specialty finish settles at the bottom of the can. Alright, now it's the next day and so my frosted glass spray paint is dry. First, I'm going to work on the bulbs. Very carefully remove the stickers to reveal your design. I decided to also add some glitter on the top, so I'm going to put some Mod Podge down and then shake some glitter across each bulb on the top. The Mod Podge did remove some of that frosted glass look, so I was a little disappointed about that. Not sure how to prevent that in the future, but just so you know, if you're going to recreate this, you might want to skip that type of adhesive and just do spray glitter or glitter glue. After the Mod Podge and glitter was done drying, then I just needed to reassemble and these bulbs are finished. I love how they look. I think that especially the ones where I had extra stickers on and did a longer phrase like Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, those ones look so professional and beautiful. I hung them on my tree and the decoration really makes this tree special. Each of the kids are so happy to have a bulb with their name on it. Now let's work on the hurricane vases. I'm removing the rubber bands and you'll see that again, the negative space caused by having something in the way of the spray paint created a beautiful pattern. The frosted sea glass ended up a very, very pale bluish color, but I think if I had done more coats, it would have turned bluish green. This style screams coastal Christmas to me, and so I am going to style this with a bunch of different like coastal themed stuff. I'm also going to wrap the bottom of a couple of these hurricane vases with jute. I styled my hurricane vases with some driftwood, a bunch of shells, and some frosted eucalyptus to make it a little more Christmassy, all laid on top of a furry white rug. I love that the frosted look gives variation when you light a candle inside, and that it hides how ugly my pillar candles are becoming from excessive use. The glow of the candlelight flickers beautifully on these hurricane vases where parts of it shines through brighter than others, and I love how it looks. The ambiance is beautiful. So now with our little luminary jar, I'm going to put Mod Podge on the bottom and cover it with this faux snow and some glitter. It's gonna look so wintry when I'm done. Now pour more faux snow on the inside of the jar. This is going to be the base for which you stick your silhouettes into. To create the silhouettes, I'm going to be tracing on my laptop the outline of a deer. I picked a buck, so it has the pretty antlers that will show. Now that I've essentially used my laptop as a light table, I have the perfect proportion silhouette for my deer, and I can just cut it out with the scissors. I also did this with some trees, cut out a triangle, and then made like rough edges to make it look like a pine tree. Next, color both sides of your paper black. And it's okay, I'm just using regular printer paper. You can use something stiffer so it stands up better, but it's okay to just use regular printer paper as well. You need something that's going to bend slightly so that it can get into the mouth of the jar. Now stick your silhouettes into your snowy scene inside the jar and place them however close to the edge of the jar you need in order to have the shadowy look. So you can still distinguish the shape, but because we have the frosted glass, it's not clear. For the top lid of the jar, I'm going to paint it white with some multi-surface craft paint that is made to stick to metal. And I want to do a little detail on the outside as well with some greenery just to give some more color to the design. And I'm going to be hot gluing these to a piece of jute rope, as well as this big adorable bell. So just tie that around the mouth of the jar, and then when your lid's paint is dry, you can screw that down over it. This frosty scene in a jar is beautiful just on its own. You don't need to add a light to make it a luminary because the frosted glass already makes it just look shadowy and pretty. You can see when you put the light in there that the deer and the trees, they have even more dimension. So when you're turning around the jar and looking at the scene on the inside, it's so pretty, mesmerizing, almost like a snow globe. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed my ideas for these 3 different crafts you can create with Rust-Oleum's Imagine spray paint in frosted glass and frosted sea glass. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite of the 3 crafts I created and why. If you love this video, go ahead and share it with your friends. Thanks again to Rust-Oleum for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check out the link in the description of this video to go buy some of this awesome frosted glass spray paint for yourself. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you again next time on Welcome to the Woods.